Recording in progress.
It sounds so quiet now without music.
I know.
Or maybe it's the 100 people.
Don't worry, Trey.
That's why it's quiet.
Also, I feel like I could sing "Baby Lock Them Door" because my voice is gone from the screaming lobster.
Oh
bit.
yeah, I know. Like right now, I can finally do like a good Michael Caine.
Do it.
Hey, so he's just gonna go down. Marshall Wayne, I told you this. I said no.
I used to do this bit where I do Michael Caine as a pepper boy.
What the hell is
Yeah, I was gonna say who and what the
Okay, so-
frick is a pepper boy?
So I watched a SNL sketch where it was like a pepper boy who would add pepper
oh,
to your food.
oh, now I know, like
at
an
a
Olive Garden
restaurant.
pepper boy.
Yeah, and
you need to say Olive Garden before you say
what
pepper
I would
boy.
do, I do 3 impressions. I would do Al Pacino as a pepper boy. And be like,
Oh yeah, okay, all right.
you know, doing all that.
Yeah.
And then I do Ray Romano. And then I would do
Wait,
Michael
what
Caine.
was Ray Romano doing? Pepper?
Ray Romano as a pepper. He was like,
Do you need any pepper? No, good. All right.
Oh,
I'm not very good at this job yet.
and then I would do Michael Caine. And I would say, this is my impression of Michael Caine as a driver's ed teacher by day and then by night as a pepper boy.
No, what you need is a little bit pepper in that, Marshall Wayne.
It was dumb. And
No,
I
I
wonder
love
why
it.
people didn't hire me.
What, did you
so
do that
curious.
for? Like, what do you mean you didn't hire?
Oh,
Like in job interviews?
Like
you
an
did that?
yeah, for job interviews.
Okay,
So
so I
what makes you
graduated,
qualified?
3.8 GPA. It says Michael Caine impression. Oh, don't say less. And then you went into it.
What makes you qualified to work the Walmart cashier?
We can't have you.
Well,
I
I'll show
will-
you a little bit of this.
No.
I look like my favorite hobby is being a Mormon. Get the fuck out of here. Okay.
This guy's gonna jump on like the phone and just start talking to the customers. Hello, Walmart customers. This is Al Pacino.
Absolutely, Mitch would
I
do
would do
impressions
that.
into the store microphone.
1,000% I would do that.
What's the deal? There's a sale on aisle 9.
Yeah.
If you want a deal on marshmallows, then head over to aisle 3.
Question: Does
Gilbert Gottfried, get off that darn mic. Sorry, guys.
Does Gilbert Godfrey cover his eye like he just got poked?
I don't understand
he
the eye
was-
thing.
you know, honestly, I saw Jimmy Fallon do that for his impression. And I was like,
What's your
all
impression
right.
of Jimmy Fallon's impression?
It's my
of Gilbert
impression of
Gottfried?
Jimmy. Yeah. That's one thing you know. Every impression is just an impression of someone else's impression, because they never actually
Absolutely.
sound like that. You know, like Jay Leno. Jay Leno doesn't actually sound like this. You know. He's more like this. And that's not as fun. That's
little
not as fun to
lower.
do. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing. Yeah, the jaw.
The question for this certain podcast that I'm having: are we even supposed to acknowledge the crowd? Or are we
I
supposed
don't
to
know.
Am I
Guys,
just-
thank you for being here.
Am I just blocking them off?
People in the crowd.
Oh,
listen to the
you're
podcast.
here.
Are we supposed?
This
No,
is
we're supposed to
fun.
pretend like they don't exist.
like,
This is history, folks.
Like,
We got
I'm going
1,
to ignore
2,
my
3, 4,
spouse.
5, 6,
Should
7,
I-
8, 9, 10 people listening
biggest
to this.
audience in our podcast history.
Biggest pod audience history, folks. So should we talk about the shows? Should we talk about the
We
shows?
should probably talk about
The
it.
question is, what I don't want this to be is us going through the jokes that they all just heard.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly,
I'm
yeah.
tired of my jokes.
I'm going to
honestly.
re-say everything you heard. Just
So what do we
20
got?
minutes.
We got all right. Half black, half.
Can we-
Here's the thing about cocoa
let's,
better.
let's do this.
This
Okay,
is going to be a 5-hour long
I am
podcast.
gonna do this.
I hope
So-
you're ready for that.
This is Trey's notes.
I was saving that.
I'm so sorry. This is Trey's notes, guys. Printed, bolded. This is my notes. Okay.
Scribbled like a 4th grader.
In a pen, with a pen, just like, you know, I kind of like to call it, I call it the Da Vinci effect, you know, just I gotta get my ideas out.
I think
but
the
it
only
looks
thing
like
missing
Rowan,
from
my
that-
nephew, did that.
The
so
only thing missing from that is like a drawing of a tornado in the S. You know, just
Just like-
3-line S.
maybe that's my bullet points is just like thick pictures, like just pictures. I remember with pictures. I'm a memory
You
guy.
do hieroglyphs. That's how you do your stage notes.
What's next? I got lady holding rock. Okay, lady holding rock.
Okay.
You guys ever seen a lady holding rock before?
What's up with ladies holding rocks? Like the most unrelatable premise I've ever heard.
I like how Evan barely speaks English.
So lady hold rock other day.
Much to my chagrin. You can't say that after that.
Take your
Doesn't
pants, stand
fit.
up. That's great.
That doesn't work. Okay, so how do we feel energy-wise? How do you feel about the first show? Let's go over the first show. Just energy.
Energy for the first show for me, I think it was better for me. Like, I don't
think it
know.
was better for you?
I mostly because I didn't sleep last night. I don't know if it was like, you know, whiskey sours have caffeine in them all of a sudden. But like, I could not fall asleep last night. So the whole day I was like, oh God. Like, we're doing round 2. So I think energy on stage wise, last night I had more fun energy wise, but I had a great time tonight. Yeah, no, I had a.
Oh,
really
we're not
fun.
talking about tonight yet. We're not talking about tonight.
Well, I had a
We're on
great time,
time.
a really
on,
great
Evan.
time last night. So yeah.
Trey?
Energy?
Energy?
My energy or what?
Oh yeah, well, it could be anything.
the
It's a vague,
Earth's.
vague
Earth's.
question
'Cause,
about night number
all
one.
energy that will ever exist already exists. Mitch. Did you know that? I felt like my energy on stage tonight was better than last night, but I was more nervous tonight. Weirdly, like I felt more
I
in
get
my
that.
head tonight because I was like last night I was like, well, if tonight doesn't go well, then we have tomorrow, and then tonight. I was like, well, last night went well, so obviously tonight cannot. Like, there's no way it can do it 2 times in a row.
Totally.
So I was just so in my head, which was really interesting. But then as soon as I got on stage, the crowd tonight was awesome, and everyone was smiley, and we strategically put like our siblings and spouses on the front row. So we
Yeah,
shout out to the
smart.
siblings and spouses.
Shout out
and
to
so
the Sibs and spouses.
it was funny because I felt like
They're not the
tonight was
same.
more. I feel like tonight was more of a church crowd than last night.
Yes.
Did you guys
what
feel
makes
that?
you say that?
The amount of ohs
Like,
tonight was like through the roof. Everyone was like, you said in one monitor, oh! Last night people were like, you know,
Evan's like, I smelled a lobster. People are like,
oh, I know where he's going. He's going straight for the vagina. Oh.
I put 2 and 2 together. I got the lobster as well, buddy.
Lord gave me a mind of wisdom, and I see where this is going. Mitch, how about you? Energy? What? Dude, you crushed it. I had so much fun watching
And
you.
so energy-wise, I felt like tonight was better. Night 2 was better overall because night 1, I had the same energy for the first 12 minutes, but I did jokes that I was less familiar with. And so tonight, I cut those jokes out. I cut out the grape joke about like my family doing the escape room. I cut out the Animal Crossing joke, and it paid off because
did.
tonight it was like the energy was constant. It was like start to end banger. And last night I had great moments, but then there were moments of like, oh. And that was all I could concentrate was the
Isn't it funny? Because like when you're doing stand up, it is like that is like why is it? It's you could have a bunch of people in the crowd laughing, and then there's one person like, you're like, I gotta get that guy to laugh.
oh my god.
I gotta get my mother to laugh.
It's kind of like interesting because no, I shouldn't even focus on that guy. That guy's not enjoying himself. Too bad for him. I'm gonna go, find the person that's enjoying himself. But
I didn't experience any of those. They were all laughing at my stuff.
Oh, interesting.
They're all too
Yeah,
busy
weird how you
smiling,
had
laughing.
a
Yeah.
guy
Yeah,
not
that's weird. You
laughing
had
at
a
everything
frowner?
you said.
I could,
know what that's like.
I could literally point him out. I could, if there was a police description, he would be arrested instantly. No, but like I think one thing I've learned about double events, and I knew this going in. I was like, okay, Evan, don't get your expectations for the same laughs at the same times. Because the first time, this was a set I'd never practiced ever until I did it. Very much how we talk about it on podcasts. Like, I think it's gonna work. We'll find out. But it was the first time I'd ever actually done the set, which was last night. So I think there was this like really excited energy, finding new jokes within it while you're telling it. And then also, so you get laughs that because it's organic and real, but then the next night you try to recreate it and the crowd doesn't respond the same. And so you're like, oh, you guys didn't laugh. But everybody laughed last night. And so you're trying to kind of bounce back to where.
Yeah.
But
We've talked about that before, how it's like that first performance, there's an energy there where it's like the first time you're doing a joke, you say it, and then something comes to you out of the blue, and it's the funniest thing that you never could have written in a million years. And then the next night, you can't recreate that.
But to say
and it's like
it happened tonight though. There were some moments where like I said something I didn't say last night and then it worked. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So what I'm very excited about is these 3 cameras that are set up filming.
Right.
Because our sets are going to look hilarious.
Yeah.
Like taking the best of all of it's going to be
we
really
create a
good.
super set. Yeah. Did not
a
miss.
supersetter.
Not today, frowny guy. Yeah.
Yeah, good luck, dude. Yeah, I'm like, suck it. My set's called Suck It, Frowny Guy.
That's
Has
the name
nothing
of
to
your
do.
first special. Suck it.
Suck it. Evan Pearson presents. Yeah, in my first special. Yeah, suck it. It's like your
man.
first movie. You know, you got. What was your movie called?
Ballbusters?
Ballbusters.
Ballbusters.
Ballbusters followed by
Ballbusters
Suck
was
It.
Ballbusters was a weird filming experience.
Can
It
you
was
tell us
bizarre.
about what kind of movie
Yeah.
was it? Independent, YouTube,
Very independent.
film.
I'll walk through like how this happened. I got the. So first of all, I auditioned for it because the guy was like, "Hey, you'd be great for this." And I'm like, "Okay, perfect." And so I auditioned for it, and they were like, "No, you're like too young for the role." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then they called me a few weeks later, and they were like, "Hey, we showed your audition tape to other actors auditioning for the role because we were like, we want this, but just older. And then they were like, wait, we should just hire you and change the age of the character. And I was like, hell yeah.
That's a great idea.
And then I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I was like looking up how much money I was going to get. And I was looking up like, what's the SAG minimum? And dude, it was like $10,000
Let's
for a
go.
week. And I was like, I'm going to get $10,000 damn dollars for a week of work. And I was like, this is amazing. And then they called and they were like, yeah, we're great. We're working as a mega low budget.
Oh, they found a loophole.
Oh, the mega.
We're working as a mega low budget.
Wow.
And so I looked up how much money you get. It's like $2,000.
Talk about
So I went from
ballbusters.
$10,000.
I know. That's mega for me, man.
Hey, I mean, that was pretty
2,000.
Can you believe?
I'll
Only
drop my
2,000?
pants right here, right now.
I
You need it for the audition tape?
still wonder if they saw my beehole. I'm
Well,
like, I'm
did
like,
you
I
spread the-
don't know.
Did you spread the cheeks? What were you
Well,
doing?
okay, so I
please
will.
explain.
I
What do you
will
mean you
recreate
don't
how this
know?
I
happened.
mean, you wonder. I never have to wonder that.
Well,
No one has seen this movie. My character's name was Narcoleptic Nick.
oh no.
I was
Alliteration?
yes. So it's like the whole premise of this movie was like basketball players that were like really good at one point and then suck ass now. And my character,
Wait,
he was like,
Wait,
yeah.
we need to know. What do you mean? Literally
Uh-oh.
or figuratively?
And so my character was like a really good high school basketball player, but then he got narcolepsy in his senior year of high school, and like he would fall asleep all the time. And so like I was making a joke because I'm like, I fell asleep, and they showed a tattoo that was on my butt, and the tattoo said "shit happens" on my butt cheeks.
It's a really
and like
weird-
and they were like, okay, can we get a little, can we get a better shot?
And
of
your
his
bare
butt
ass
cheeks
is just
on
open.
my
You're laying.
and like the night before, I had to shave my butt cheeks.
Oh, yeah.
To get the tattoo, because it was a fake little tattoo they put on my butt.
That's
and yeah,
amazing.
and I still wonder, I'm like, did they see my beehole? I don't know,
mean,
because it was kind of close.
it depends
Did you
on
not
what kind of
see
director.
the movie?
Yeah.
I've never watched the movie.
What?
Because I was on set and I was like, this is not.
You gotta.
This
We're
is not
okay.
worth
On the
watching.
next episode of Unpaid Regulars, we
We
are
should
either
all watch
watching it
Ballbusters.
together,
Let's
or we
react
already have
to
watched it and we come back
Ballbusters.
to shame you or something. We have
It
to
would
watch
only
it.
be shade. Mason, my younger brother, has seen Ballbusters.
Mason, you've actually seen it. You
Yeah,
were in
Ma-
it.
yeah,
You were
Ma-
in
Ma-
it
Mason
too.
was also in it.
Was your ass as well, or you said no?
Yeah, just his
Only
wiener.
a full frontal.
Actually, it was just
For
the
you.
Mason has
testicles.
standards for himself.
Yeah,
wasn't
you were
even
the backside. He was the front side. There's kind
Oh,
of doing
dude.
a Frankenstein of the brothers here.
The movie was so dumb. Like there was a guy in the movie. His whole character arc was that he had like really long testicles.
Oh,
That was his whole thing. His nuts just fell out in one shot.
Ballbusters.
Yeah, and like one time we were playing against a team that was a bunch of big babies. Like they thought they were babies, and then this woman, I'm not making this up. I swear to God, everything I'm saying is so real. Like it's burned in my brain. And so we're playing this team that's a bunch of big babies, and then this woman gets up and flashes them, and then all the babies start crawling to her and making like kissy sounds like. And I remember we filmed it. They're like cut, and I looked at my one of my co-stars, and I was like, "This is not gonna be a good movie. This is not gonna be."
Sounds like a fever dream, honestly. Does
yeah,
not sound.
I think it was. I still don't know.
what
if-
I haven't seen it. Could be fake.
Did you read the script before you committed to it, or just like movie? I'm in.
I saw my stuff and I was like, yeah, the idea of someone like falling asleep, that's funny.
Oh, I can nail this character. Absolutely.
A guy falls asleep. I'm pretty good at that.
Dude, what if it becomes one of those like Sharknado things where like it's so bad,
Yeah.
but then it catches on and it's on Netflix and everyone watches
No, because
it
it came out like a few years ago.
No, but it could be like a slow burn, like
it could.
Slowest.
very slow burn.
I don't know, man. It's because I get it. The Sharknado's like, oh, it's so bad, it's funny, but this one's like, it's so bad, it's depressing.
Right.
Like that's what I think. Like and like all the reviews are like, these people don't know how to make a movie. Like I've read the reviews on IMDb and they're like, they've never made a movie in their life. This is awful. And the one good review, this guy was like, this movie reminds me of Airplane. It's an instant classic. I love it. It's the producer of the movie.
Yeah.
The
Self-written
producer
review.
of the movie went out of his way, went on IMDb. He was like, this is a great movie. I love it. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
I could lie and pretend like I'm not above that, but like if I spent a lot of money and time making a movie and all the reviews are negative, I would probably be like, well, let's see. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of Transformers, you know? Like,
You got to kind of feel bad for the guy. You know, he was just in his room like night after night writing
Just
that
sweating
script. Just
bullets.
like, oh, okay, so his testicles, they fall out of his shorts. This is going to be.
instead of having really small testicles,
this
he has really big testicles?
okay, he's just like,
All right, okay,
he's got
this-
a pipe. He's just smoking.
changes everything.
Okay, there's a bunch of crumpled papers all around his room.
In
What
his
is it? What is it?
In his wicker chair.
Yeah.
Damn it! Should the testicles be long or
Wait a
short?
second. I'm seeing something. An ass cheek. Shit happens. Are you typing? Are you typing? That's great.
Are you ready? He's just in his room alone. His crack is what's in his pipe. Are you writing this down? Shit happens. Oh, it's comedy gold.
I mean, that's a pretty good experience, man.
It was as if a 5th grader wrote the movie. And they're not going to watch this podcast. I'm shitting on it. So, I never talk about it normally. It's such a god-awful movie. But it was fun. I got to hang out with Jerry O'Connell.
Oh, my God.
He was the star of
No
Stand
idea
By
who
Me.
that is.
So, if you've seen the
Who
movie
the hell
Stand
is
By
Jerry
Me,
O'Connell?
he was the fat kid in Stand By Me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't really care for
Well,
that.
the audience isn't impressed.
I'm like, oh,
was like,
cool.
okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no,
They're mad
yeah.
you said fat kid because you can't do that anymore.
Well, he
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
And now he's a very handsome man. And interesting.
oh,
he's
fat people can't be handsome.
Okay, you heard it here. Mitch is
just
done.
dig in my grave.
No, he was fat. Now he looks good. Like,
You don't understand, guys.
now I'd have sex with him. What? Hold on.
Okay, guys.
Time out. He's
Phil, cut it.
So have you guys seen the original X-Men movies, like the original X-Men trilogy? Okay, so from the original X-Men trilogy, you know Mystique, the woman in blue? He's married to her.
I don't know who
Oh,
that
that's
is.
handsome. He's got to be handsome.
He's handsome. John Stamos was married to her.
Hey, they've all had a turn.
John Stamos was married to her, and now he's married to her.
They've all gotten in there. I don't know who we're talking
I
about.
don't either. Who the hell is Mystique? No.
I wasn't allowed to watch X-Men, bro. There was magic.
Wait, in X-Men?
Yeah.
That's not magic.
If it's not
Okay,
if
no,
it's-
demonic powers. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
There it is.
Demonic powers.
if
If there's lightning coming out of your fingers, it's not of the Lord.
If you're I'm like, it's not magic, levitating, just like eyes glowing.
magic, it's
No.
hidden
That's
devil
fine.
work.
Wait, did I
When
tell
you
you
have
guys
a
about
wand.
did I tell you guys about my Spider-Man doll as a kid?
No.
No, you told me to tell this story.
Yeah. So this is how strict my parents were when it came to like movies and stuff. And you know, so you can make like the argument, oh, it's not magic, it's powers, whatever. Like there was no that line of logic did not exist to my parents. It was like if it could be Satan, it was Satan.
It was him.
So for my Christmas, just mine. For Christmas, I got this big Spider-Man like doll, like action figure. Now, and I love Spider-Man. So I was stoked. And you know how Spider-Man shoots web, right? At least back then.
Yeah.
He like did this thing. He did the I love you sign, and he'd press right here, and web would shoot out of his wrist. Well, my parents mistook that symbol for this,
Oh.
and they were like, it's demonic. It's what they do at death metal concerts, and it's a tribute. It's a tribute to Satan.
Yeah.
And so they were like, we have to throw away this Spider-Man action figure. Like after Christmas,
That
they
is
sat
so
me down like, Trey, you know your favorite toy that you got? Oh, no. Yeah, we're going to throw him in the garbage because he's possessed by Satan. And
By the way, you're gonna need to take a shower.
yeah. And so I was like, I just wept. I cried. I was like, it's my favorite toy. And they're like, my emotional response was so big that they decided like we made a mistake. Like let's conference about this.
Right.
They're like, you know what? We'll talk about it. So that I'll never forget. They went into their room with my Spider-Man action figure. And they go in there, and I'm like just like ears to the door, and I just hear like, and then like a few minutes of like silence, and then the door just opens, and they're like, "All right, Trey, you can keep it." And they clipped his fingers, so he was just making a fist.
I knew it, dude. No way. It
Yeah.
altered your toy. He's
Yeah.
like, now
They're
we're
like,
just a rock.
you
We're
know-
a rock for Jesus. Now, now we're a sturdy foundation. Go.
It's a very similar posture that I had to God after that. I was like, why?
Cut this finger, Lord.
The fact that like my parents would rather mutilate an action figure instead of just like go with it. You know, like maybe it's not Satan. Maybe it's just Spider-Man.
Hear me
And
out.
and then so like years later, because that stuck with me. Obviously, I'm talking about it like 25 years later. But I found out that this means I love you.
Oh.
And I told my dad, I was like, hey, Dad, this means I love you. He's like, okay. I was like, do you remember when you and Mom clipped my Spider-Man's fingers off because you said this was worshiping the devil? He's like, oh, yeah, we were wrong. You were wrong? I was traumatized. How about that?
I've been keeping my hand in a fist for years.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So that was my parents. That's the level we were dealing with. So no, I don't know who Mystique is, Mitch. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, why was I talking about that?
X-Men.
Where the hell did that
X-Men.
come from?
Oh man.
Sexman? More like it? Naked blue lady? I don't think so.
Triple X-Men? Have you seen the blue lady run?
I count her as my first naked lady I ever saw.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I was like, there's no nipples, but
Guys,
her boobs are not covered.
this is a question I've been
Yeah.
a question I've been meaning to ask on the This is a question I've been meaning to ask on the podcast, and I'm so glad we have a crowd for this, okay?
Yeah.
What was your sexual awakening?
Oh god.
Like the first moment when you
Why?
were
Well,
like,
I just told you
am-
mine.
can't wait to
I
talk
am
about this
attracted to
in
women.
front of a crowd.
Dude.
I have been looking forward to it. What was your Mitchell? Take your hand out of your pocket before you ask me that question.
Sexual awakening.
What was your sexual? I don't know. God, that's a deep.
I mean, I know it like that.
Okay. Well,
know
then
like
I feel
that.
like you should
Then you
start.
should start.
Yeah.
I will start.
Maybe
All
I'll
right.
remember. Maybe I suppressed it.
So, you guys remember the movie Zorro?
Catherine Zeta-Jones, bro.
So, Catherine Zeta-Jones, you know exactly where I'm going. So, with Catherine Zeta-Jones, there's like a scene where they're like in a barn, and she's like, "What are you doing, Zorro?" And he's like, "I'm saving Mexico, bitch," or whatever.
I don't think that was.
And yeah, that was the exact.
no, you could say that back then.
Back then, you
Yeah,
totally could.
You could call
Yeah.
Spanish women bitches.
Yeah, and that was his voice. He's like, "I'm here to save
He was
Mexico,
Batman.
bitch." And they get into a sword fight because she's like, "I've been trained to fight with swords all my life."
I know
And
what
he's
you're
like,
about to
"Well,
say.
I got trained in this last week, so I'm pretty
Oh,
good too."
wow.
And
Yeah.
they're fighting and they're fighting, and then she's pretty good and he's pretty good. But then guess what? Yeah, he zips off all of her clothes.
Yeah.
And she's standing there and her clothes fall off. And I was like, "What?
This is it. Yep.
What? What?
And I was like, I was young too. I was like
Yeah.
5 or something, and I knew. I was
You were
like,
sexually awakened at 5?
I was young.
Hey,
I was like, hey.
Catherine Zeta-Jones will do that to a young man.
Catherine Zeta-Jones will change the way your body works.
You're just sipping a juice box. You're like, oh my.
You're
I'd let her Zeta
I
my
had
Jones
juice
any
box,
day.
Like, oh, yeah, I squeezed it. It's like, oh, mother. What are those? It was Catherine Zeta-Jones. That scene, oh my gosh. I was like, yeah, women are pretty great. I like the ladies. So that was it for me.
That's a good one. Mine involved,
Spider-Man, right?
no.
It was
I was
the
like, oh,
sec-
Spider-Man,
the
that
second his
fist
fingers
is-
were gone.
Spider-Man, what are you going to do with that fist? I'm very awakened.
You can't shoot your web anymore, so what are you going to do with
Oh
it?
my, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, are you
Oh,
undressing me? I'll tell you.
I'm like holding him over my clothes, making him like undress me.
I'll tell you what, Spidey. Something inside me is tingling.
Your parents running. We were right.
Yeah,
We were right about it.
Spider-Man's in my pants. Like,
Your dad walks in. Hey, Trey. Oh, what? That's the way you're supposed to play with Spider-Man, Dad.
it means I love you.
You haven't seen his fight with Mysterio yet?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's terrible.
So, Dad, when are you heading out? You're going to church, right?
Oh,
You'll be
dude.
gone for a while? Okay. Mom going too? Okay. Okay.
Oh
Put
man.
your Spider-Man toy under your pillow.
So it wasn't
Okay.
Spider-Man,
Wasn't Spider-Man.
but that is a funnier answer.
Yeah,
What was it? What was your sexual awakening?
It was Simba crawling on top of Nala. Dude, when she looks at him like,
I'll tell you what, man.
I was like,
Oh no.
That was your crushed juice box. Walt!
I'm erect. I announced my.
Oh my
You knew all the vocabulary in the moment. My penis is fully erect.
Oh, dude. Bestiality was your sexually awakening. That's
No,
amazing.
All right, when you put it that way, I wasn't having sex with animals. They're having sex with each other.
Yeah,
That
bro.
did it.
It's
It's
way
not
different.
bestiality if you're just
Well, it's
watching
definitely
it. Question
something.
mark? I don't know.
You know,
I mean,
I
yeah, kind of it is. What do you mean? Okay, Evan, I watch
not-
animal porn every day, and it's totally normal. It's not weird. No, it is.
What kind of stuff are you into? I mean, mainly like elephants on elephant. That's my thing.
The Discovery Channel.
Don't worry, it's male and female elephant. I'm not gay.
It's totally normal. Gosh.
I mean, yeah, like I'll watch some cheetah stuff every now and then, but
If I ever get jungle fever, if you know what I mean, I'll watch that.
reptiles, I'm not into reptiles. They don't do it for me.
Mostly because-
It's so slimy.
Their penises are very disappointing. They don't, the whole egg laying thing just doesn't.
There's just not a lot going on. They're just laying there. With an elephant, there's effort. I'm talking too much about this.
You really?
Okay, but the one thing when you said Lion King, my wife Erin, I think hers was Simba.
Wow.
Oh.
Hers was Simba. Simba's a
Wait,
hot command.
Gabby.
My wife is saying.
Whoa.
Yeah, the way that Gabby, my sister, she was like,
that's
yep,
meant to
guilty
be
as
there.
charged.
So it's almost like in that moment I was watching Us.
Can you
Oh my
feel
goodness.
the love? Is that what they sing? Love tonight.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? It is weird when Nala she because you know when she's about to get it because Nala
Yeah.
lays
Dude.
back.
Bro.
You're like, that's
Yeah.
a Disney movie.
Can
Nala
I say?
lays into the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plants
And
herself.
then she
Yeah,
says,
it's the. You're right, Isaac. It is in the eyes. It's always in the eyes.
they got sexy eyes.
They got
those
sexy eyes.
Which
I'm not
Disney.
Which is why the modern day Lion King was not nearly as sexy.
Mm.
They had
Right.
those dumbass
Animate the
animal
eyes.
eyes.
Yeah.
I wasn't turned on once watching the new Lion King. I was like,
You just left the theater. Come on.
all right, let's get our money back.
Got my full bottle of lotion? Like,
I got some Animal Planet to catch up on.
I haven't watched Lion King in years because I'm afraid it'll still
Still do it for you.
I mean,
Gabby, what do you
Can't
say?
wait
You
watching
and me.
Lion King again. Yeah, me neither. Blech.
Your kids are getting to the age. What's Lion King? Nothing, honey. It's nothing.
It's not for you.
We're not gonna watch it.
It's not for you. Evan, what was your sexual awakening?
I've been trying. I don't know if you've been watching, but I've been trying to think the entire time. Like, I don't know when I was awakened.
Really?
I'm like, have I been? Am I still? sleeping?
Evan,
Evan's got some unanswered
I'm
questions.
going to put my
thing
hand
is-
here and I want you to tell me what
The thing is like sexually, I'm like,
here. Can I get a volunteer on stage?
who wants to sexually awaken?
All right, we need a man and a woman.
We need
I need
one of each
to know.
and a control. Someone down the middle and a lion. A big paw. Just
Yeah, my eyes are closed. Okay.
we're like, wait, this is what you like?
Something's kind of sharp, but I'm not mad.
It's
I'm
my
not mad
Spiderman.
about it.
It's my Spiderman doll.
Yeah, there's like a okay, good, could be better.
The man touches you, not feeling it. Woman, not feeling it. Lion, okay.
What's
Okay.
that sharp clawing cutting on my? I don't know, man. To be honest, I think I was a Well, the thing is, I learned about. You know what my sexual awakening was the back of a biography book. I learned. I read about. I had this science book that was just
You
full
mean
of.
biology?
Did that what
You said biography? I was like, whose?
It was Winston Churchill.
It was Anne Frank.
I got
it
the
was
back
Anne
of that
Frank.
book.
Oh
Oh.
God, not Anne Frank. Oh, good. Oh
My
no.
name is Mitchell Mack, and I redact myself from that joke.
And Anne Frank, doesn't she talk about her sexual awakening?
No!
I could have swear she
No!
does. No, that's why she was like, "Oh, my diary, don't go into my diary," but of course they did. And-
God, my name is Mitchell Mack, and I redact
Oh, Mitch,
myself.
shut it. Anyway, my sexual awakening was not biography, but a biology.
That
Thank
makes
you.
a lot of
Biology.
sense.
A
There's more
bio-
naked
it was like a
pictures in those.
science book filled with and then I remember reading it's like, and then the penis goes into the what? And then I learned about it at like age 4 because I was reading.
You're doing
Wow,
biology
you're
at
again.
4?
You're
Once
a
again,
young reader.
I'm not kidding. Like 5'4", I had a book that was it was a picture book. It was a really cool science book, but they had this whole section on sex. And I'm like I said, I'm the youngest of a family of 6. You just know things before you should at that age. Like Kellen and I would sneak watching R-rated movies all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And when my parents came downstairs, he would just put me behind the couch, and then I'd get back on the couch and we'd watch them. But it was mostly like war
That's
movies.
crazy that you were reading at 4 or 5. Guys,
I
this
learned
is-
how to ride my bike at 2.
Well, this is
Yeah.
a true story. I
Yep.
could not speak until I was 4 years old.
Wow.
Could not speak a word of English until I was 4 years old.
Do we?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what to do with this
Yeah,
moment.
no one knows what to do with it.
Do we congratulate
I was
you?
Can we go back to lion porn? That was funny. I like that one. Yeah, that's great that you were reading it.
I mean, to
4,
be
and
honest,
then you saw a
I
vagina?
feel like my when you saw a vagina. No, yeah, probably 4 or 5. I mean, I don't know. It's all a blur. But yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah, that's when I got that book. Yeah.
Holy
I don't know if I was reading, but it was like, I don't know. What was it, 4 or 5, maybe 6? I'm like, now that I'm not looking at you.
Mason knows.
I mean, I don't
You've
know.
confided this in him before.
I have no clue, but my sexual awakening probably came through reading, so yeah, not through watching.
That
so.
sounds really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much
And
better
that's
than
why I'm
my
doing.
answer.
Yeah, you guys are married and I'm not. Well, according to literature,
the vagina.
I know exactly what to do. Let's see here. Well, I lost my spot.
Wow, when you were first doing that, I was like, oh my gosh.
He
I was
does.
like, oh, thank God.
He does know
He
what he's
knows
doing.
exactly what
Like,
he's
I'm
doing.
learning something new here.
I'm like,
I'm like taking
you're doing
notes.
it wrong. You don't know what to do. Good God! This is why we cut our. This is why our podcast.
yeah,
Gets
at this point, we'd been like, Phil, cut that out.
Hey Phil, let's just cut that part out. And my sister, she lives in England and she listens to the podcast. She's like, Phil never cuts out anything.
So true.
Mostly
Yeah, she's
because
like, is Phil a real person?
she's like,
Who
every
is
time
this Phil person?
you say something terrible, and then you say, Phil, please cut that out, and then it never gets cut out.
And then later that week, we're like, it wasn't that
It
bad.
wasn't that bad.
The problem is like Phil's always like, hey guys, could you send in notes? And we're like, totally. And then we do nothing. So it's like Phil's like, well, we're sending it. So Phil, yeah. Guys, while we're here, let's give it up for Phil Kennedy, the producer
Phil.
of
None
our
of this would be possible
podcast.
without Phil.
This man is a legend.
Okay, so one last thing I want to talk about before
Yeah.
we wrap up. We did a poll on Instagram a few weeks ago. We're like, what are some questions you want to submit to
boy.
the podcast, whatever. Do we have those?
Phil, do you have the
But
questions?
if we don't, first I'd like to open up, and literally no pressure at all, but you guys did all the work of coming out to this live recording the podcast.
Yeah.
So if you guys have anything you want to say or ask about the podcast or the shows this weekend or just anything you wanted to
Or
ask
us in general. It could be
Us
a
in general?
dumbass question.
It could
doesn't
be.
have to
I mean,
anything
you've seen Mitch's
serious.
questions, right, about sexuality, so you can literally
Hey.
ask anything.
That was a banger, guys. We would not have gotten to
We
lion
discovered a
horn.
lot. We discovered
we
that
learned a lot about each other.
you need prayer.
Yeah.
But you and Gabby are kind of both effed up it a little bit in a way, which is probably bonding for your
Okay,
sex
wait,
life.
I think we have our first ever question and our first ever
Wow.
live podcast.
Let's
This
go.
is
What do you got?
monumental.
We
What's
got
the
Isaac.
question?
The question
Family Guy
was,
Meg?
how was Meg not brought up? I don't know if they have. I'm going to repeat the questions. How was
Meg
that
from
might be it.
Hercules.
Dude, that might be mine. I'm taking it. It was
Oh
Meg
my
from Hercules.
goodness. Okay, Meg from Hercules, and then also, do you guys remember the movie The Road to El Dorado?
Oh.
So
Oh
basically
my
just
goodness.
So what we're saying is what awoken us sexually was child movies.
Oh, 1,000%.
That's pretty wild. Was that Mrs.
Oh, Mrs.
Dude.
Incredible!
Mrs.
Okay.
Incredible's ass.
Mrs. Incredible!
I'm like, Dory, am I right?
Oh.
Her left dorsal fin?
I love
Oh
a
my
forgetful
goodness.
bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Boing.
Oh.
Trust me, she wouldn't forget a night with me.
She's going to remember that. Titanic?
Titanic? Oh!
Oh, yeah, Leonardo,
Oh,
dude?
see,
Oh,
I
right? Oh,
I don't think I was allowed to watch Titanic because
No,
of that
right,
scene.
100%.
And plus, it was like, that movie was rated like PG, and straight up, her tits are out.
really?
Oh, yeah. My parents were too smart for that. With the 2 VHSs. No.
I don't know how to find the
I don't
question.
understand how movie ratings used to work. It was a PG movie.
There was no, yeah, there.
It was PG-13? Either way, boobies are out at PG-13. No.
I think R was a new rating, like relatively new. And so PG-13 movies were
You could do whatever.
actually R. Yeah. I remember this one movie that we watched, and it was called Tora Tora Tora, which is Japanese for attack. And like it
Oh,
was
no.
essentially just American nationalist like propaganda, but it was about the World War II. And it like as a kid made me a little racist for a while.
Oh, yeah. Propaganda will do that.
Goodness.
Yeah, propaganda is
And so I
very
watched this
effective.
thing, and it was rated PG-13. But my dad had this weird rule where you could watch whatever movie as long as it was a war movie.
Oh.
Oh, dude, Christian parents have that rule.
Oh yeah,
They're
as
like,
long
no
as it's about-
sex?
Yep.
But thousands of people dying, bloody, gory deaths. That
As
will
long
haunt
as
you.
America wins, then the
long as
kingdom of
God's-
God is advancing.
God's favorite nation comes out on top.
Yeah. So
Good
I watched.
question.
So Brian and I are watching it, and And there's like all these F-bombs, and we weren't allowed to, and we knew that we should not be watching this. We're like, man, it's rated PG-13. We're allowed. And
It's in the
so
rules.
it's like an inside joke to
in
this
the
day
pocket.
that we're like, remember Tora, Tora, Tora.
Wait, Evan, do you have?
I have when I posted for my story, but I'm curious if Phil has a couple as well. I have one. Should I go into it?
Go for it.
Christina Owenhouse asks the question: are Legos for adults? Which I'm just going to come up with a raging.
Oh,
yes,
1000%
They're only
yes.
for adults, probably at this point.
I
Like,
mean, most of the ratings are like you have to be 18.
they are so complicated. Yeah, no, that's true. So
You think a 5-year-old could build a Death Star? Get out of here with that crap.
yeah, that's why you buy it. Like when you buy it for your nephew, you're like, here you go. Now, if you could just get out of the way. So what you wouldn't want to do?
Yeah, I can help you build it.
You're gonna.
If you
Actually,
wa-
you know
if
what?
you
You
want.
probably can't. I'm gonna build it.
I mean, you can head out if you want. Yeah.
You can play with it later when I'm done. Okay. So
Yeah.
It's you. It's a toy still for you. So
Yeah, but whenever I played with Lego, it was the building's always the best part because you're like, wee, I'm bored.
Yeah. Oh.
You know, it's like,
Oh, I thought you were
That's
talking about
it.
when
Yeah,
you were building. I'm like, you're a terrible builder. No, what?
It's not even-
Whee! I don't know what to do with this. I'm going to sit down and be done. No, no, you mean when it's done.
you're
Yeah.
just a bunch of random rectangles. I mean, what the hell's that?
Yeah.
I was buying a toy.
I think Legos are for adults. So that.
Legos
yeah.
are for adults.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Deconstructed.
Deconstructed.
Is that a
toys.
question, or are you just talking about Legos?
He's just trying to chime in.
Do we have another one?
Okay.
And I value that feedback.
Phil's
Phil
going.
We got
has
one.
What about it?
Just
Just
talk
in
about
general? Like just question mark? VeggieTales, of course.
Of course.
Oh, well, yeah, we all
that was my actual sexual awakening. watching Larry the cucumber hop around, I was like, go on.
That's it.
Using his suction cup, you know?
Dude.
You felt really guilty when Cordy gave you the verse, though. You're like, I need to repent.
Yeah, VeggieTales were like, gay people are bad, or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. Now with the feelings I'm feeling.
I don't know if I ever watched that episode. Just Bob and Larry get a little too close. That's what it's called. Bob and Larry.
Bob and
It's
Larry,
Larry
we're,
and Bob,
we're
right?
straight Bert and Ernie. We've talked about this, right?
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
never been a part of that conversation.
Oh, yeah. Well, Bert and Ernie,
Oh,
gay.
absolutely.
You know,
yeah.
part of the gay agenda. Also another part of my parents.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
They're like, Spiderman is Satan and Bert and Ernie are gay lovers.
Yeah, I love how as Christians we have this mentality that literally everyone is out to get us. It's in everything. That music video, the devil. It's everything, and it's like, no.
Spider-Man,
Chill
Bert and
out.
Ernie, the Japanese. It's all part of Satan's master plan.
They're out to get us. I love it.
Yeah, VeggieTales, 10 out of 10. I loved him. I loved him growing up.
but yeah,
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
I definitely can, to this day, as a homeschooled pastor's kid, sing any song.
Cheeseburger?
Yeah, I can sing every word of the cheeseburger song. I already have a mic.
Double mic.
I'm putting your money where your
Wait,
mouth
oh
is.
yeah. How does it go? I forget.
'Cause you're his cheeseburger, his yummy cheeseburger.
I'll wait for you.
Yeah,
I'll
he'll
wait for you.
Yeah.
The one I remember was like it was like a Backstreet Boys knockoff.
Oh, yes, Boys in the Sink.
Baby,
It was
please
Boys
don't
in the
squeal.
Sink.
They don't
Just
have a belly
tell
button.
Me how
Need to
you
tell
feel.
you something.
Yeah.
I don't got a belly button.
button.
Ooh. No.
We need to go out more.
No belly but. Yeah, I was thinking about doing VeggieTales at karaoke, and I was like, no.
Oh, man. I would get so into
Everyone's
that.
like, no. But everybody, maybe like a cheeseburger would slap. Everybody
Oh,
loves
it
that
would.
song.
Well, everyone loves even atheists.
Yeah, they're like, I know this song. I don't know God, but I know cheeseburger.
I know Mr. Lunt. Mr. Lunt? That was the name of the onion.
That sounds incredibly offensive.
Hello. No,
No,
he was.
that was his
he
name,
was
dude.
a Mexican onion.
Was he
He's like,
Mexican?
Because I love you, cheeseburger.
He was a
with
Mexican?
olives."
Oh yeah.
Well, yes.
Mr.
Guys,
Lunt was
You
Mexican?
see VeggieTales? Yes.
I just thought he was like a white guy who was kind of.
And if the
Wow, I'm gonna
world
sound so
suddenly
racist. I
ran
just thought he was
out
a
of-
sleazy white guy. Like that's what.
With an accent?
I don't know. I
mean, he was sleazy.
He had a gold tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of more like a mobster vibe.
Everything you're saying is
I feel like
Mexican.
either you're racist or I'm racist. Someone's racist.
Let's split the difference.
We're
Let's both be no.
We're 50-50.
We're both half.
Your race, I'm ist. Okay, here we go. Phil, do we have any more?
I was not a part of it.
Notice who didn't join that handshake. I want to point it out for Mitch at this point.
Thank you. I
Mitch
clocked
is
out of that
signing
one.
Wait,
off.
any other live questions?
Could be
From
dumb
the
as
crowd?
hell.
Yeah. No.
I know it's a lot.
Mason.
Huh,
Can we
what was it?
interrupt him? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Scientifically, yes.
What?
I've
The
never
question is
understood.
I'm
water
seeing
wet?
heads shaking.
Yes.
No. Yes.
Well, I mean,
It's the
are you saying
definition.
no?
Yeah.
You're saying no. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Explain it in as
like,
few
where's the
words as you
controversy?
can, and I will relay it to the podcast. Water makes things wet, but water in itself cannot be wet.
Interesting.
I'm sold. Water's not wet.
My-
That's my stance. Water's not wet.
I'm like-
You guys are dumb. I'm smart.
Here's my thing. Let's. I'm gonna try to find a
No,
response.
water itself isn't wet.
No, water is wet because I have no good reason. Oh darn you!
Yeah.
Oh,
wet,
darn
wet
you.
is-
I gotta
wet- Wet is like a state of being.
Oh.
Dude, I wish I was as smart as you going on this. Wait, what were you saying? Question. Are there more doors versus wheels? Doors versus wheels. I
Are
say
there more?
wheels.
Are there more?
Yeah.
More doors?
What's
than
there
wheels?
more of? Are there more doors or more wheels?
Oh, we're going-
and I think we.
Oh, we're
the
going
world.
wheels. We're going wheels.
Okay,
Yeah.
but here's my question: do
Yeah.
coffins count as doors?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
if it's got
maybe.
2 hinges, it's a
Oh,
door.
wait, are you telling me? So you're calling cabinets doors now?
Well, cabinets are doors.
No. Oh, maybe
Cabinets are
can you-
doors. Well, because okay,
If
here's
it's got a hinge,
here's my
That's not-
problem with the
you
argument.
have to walk
Couldn't think
through a
of anything to
door.
rhyme
A
with
door is an
hinge.
entrance.
No, here's my
a
problem.
door doesn't need a hinge.
Well, a cabinet, it's an entrance to your cabinet.
Yeah, but you're not walking into it unless
You're walking into it with your hands.
Could be small. Here's my
The
thing: a
hand
door
motions are
doesn't have
everything.
to have a. That right there doesn't have a swivel, but I can walk through it. Therefore, it's a doorway.
No, that is not a door.
That's not a door?
doorway.
That's a
doorway,
Oh well, we're
not a
having
door.
a problem
Okay.
defining a door, let alone.
Exactly. And here's the thing, because wheel is like anything that's round, and everyone's like, it's a wheel.
That's not true.
Well, that's
No.
what people are saying.
I've never heard one person say that.
Oh, that's what people on TikTok.
People
say.
call
No,
donuts
a-
wheels.
donuts
Here's my
are
thing.
wheels.
A wheel has to here's the
Yeah,
here-
yeah.
What
a
are you
wheel
talking about?
a wheel has to transport something. It can't it has to be able to be used
Well,
to,
what if
to
it's a
move.
spin wheel?
Wait.
Pottery
Pottery
wheel.
wheel.
A pottery
What were you
wheel.
gonna
That's
say?
not
What were
a
you gonna say?
wheel though. That's
Okay,
more
hold
like
on,
they
we have the
named,
facts, we have the facts, we
They
have the facts.
named it wrong.
I googled it. There's more doors.
No way.
I was gonna
There
say
are
that.
more
Did
doors.
you
Okay.
Google it?
Yeah, there's 42.
Okay, who the f actually did the
42
research? You can't. No. Here's the deal.
Oh,
just
no
Can I
way.
rebuttal? I would like to rebuttal.
Car doors 100% count
No.
as doors. Yeah.
I want to
And-
rebuttal.
And,
You've
and
gotta
a
think of-
fifth door, the trunk.
That's bull. That's exactly. You got octane.
We got
wheels.
the numbers. We got the numbers,
No.
folks.
Yeah,
Doors
from
win.
who? From who?
From Google.
Who did
from,
that?
From Jeff Bezos. Does he do
Yeah.
Google?
Oh yeah.
Who does? That's
You got to
Amazon.
think about things like Empire State Building. You got to think about cruise ships. You got to think about hospitals.
Cruise ships have wheels.
How else do they travel on the water?
They got to get into the oceans.
I don't know, man.
They're
I
just giant mobile homes.
don't know. It's just the fact that someone has answers for that is
what-
that's where I'm like,
Would you guys?
"Come
Would you? Do you guys like the idea of a cruise ship? No.
on."
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been on one.
Cruise ships scare me.
They
Yeah.
don't mean like
I mean,
performing on
either.
one or going on
Well-
one. I'd perform on. I'd give I'd perform
Well,
anywhere you let me.
I would not go on a cruise ship because one person gets sick, dude. Everyone gets sick on that cruise ship.
Maybe.
That
Yeah.
oh, that's how it happens.
Yeah.
All the freaking time. One person gets gonorrhea, everybody gets gonorrhea.
What kind of cruises are you going on?
Mitch, do you need to tell us something?
One's with a lot of Lion King, if you know what I mean. Very sexually
They played
aroused.
it in
people
the
here.
theater.
Oh man.
Let's do one more.
Do you have one more question?
Well,
We just lost our
I
producer.
thought doors versus wheels would be the question. At the moment.
I don't think we can end on doors versus wheels.
Okay. I really don't. I only have one from the Woman's Bing podcast. We have how
we go.
90s dad style we all hated as kids is now cool. We are all hypocrites. They want us to talk about how we become. I mean, I kind of am a hypocrite.
Evan, you are 90s dad.
but aren't these kind of cool pants though?
oh, those
They're very
pants
cool.
are incredible.
Oh, I love them. I love these
you know,
pants.
I will say I never do not tuck in my shirt.
Really? But is
And I
that
think
because
that's
of like
kinda
you're
90s
referencing
dad.
90s dads or just like
I don't know. Well, I think it looks nice. I look well
Yeah.
kept.
yeah.
You know, I like it. Even if it's like I'm wearing, even if I'm wearing shorts, sweatpants, I'm tucking in the shirt.
Would you say sweatpants?
Sweatpants.
You're tucking into your sweatpants.
I tuck in my shirt to my sweatpants. You can
Are
bet
you the
your
most
bottom dollar.
uncomfortable sleeper ever?
I know.
And I,
in
my
bed.
pajamas.
Oh, okay.
I'm well fed.
You know what? I want to talk about that because when I pictured myself, my older self sleeping, I pictured me wearing these like dope ass pajama bottoms and being ripped as hell with no shirt on top, right?
Did you have a hat too?
No,
What the
no,
thing?
and I was like sexy as hell, and I was like, "Good night, future wife," or whatever. But
Yeah.
like real life me, I wear a big old baggy T-shirt and like tighty whiteies.
I was gonna say no underwear, just crawling
Yeah,
in bed.
You see my thin legs, my thin arms. I'm not hot at all.
Exact opposite.
Spider crawl into bed. I have to sleep with a pillow in between my knees because my back hurts now. I wake up and I'm like, my back. Is out of whack, honey. Yeah, I'm not as sexy as I thought I'd be.
I don't think anybody is. I don't think anybody.
There are some.
Some
I mean,
people are-
I'm
some
talking
people are
about us
sexier
on
than they
stage.
thought.
I mean, do you feel as sexy as you thought you'd be?
Wait, hold on.
No, go there.
Is the premise of your question to me that, like, yeah, obviously, Trey, you don't feel sexy
Yeah,
about yourself?
yeah. Yeah, Trey, do you feel
Because
about
it's fair, but it's hurtful.
People don't
I'm
feel
talking about myself
sexy.
too. I'm talking about me.
Exhibit A.
Like, I don't think any of us like the way they look. I mean, Trey,
Trey,
come on.
come on. No,
Trey,
you.
back me up.
I know you have something to say on this. Trey, tell us how ugly you feel.
So
Here
ugly.
There you heard it.
Right
All right,
now, I feel
that's
very
it, guys.
ugly.
That's our podcast. Trey said it. He's ugly. Let's get by. Good night.
I'm here with ABC News. We're interviewing men who are disappointed in their body. We're here with an expert on that, Trey Ellis. Trey, tell us your expertise on not loving yourself.
I thought you were going to let him speak.
I have no words.
We're going to cut to his wife. How
Yeah,
disappointed
it's hard.
are you?
It's been tough.
No, I don't know. No one's ever as sexy as they want to be, right? Even Brad Pitt probably looks in the mirror and goes,
No.
No, he does. No, that's the thing. That's what's so messed up about it.
Yeah.
Is Brad Pitt looks in the mirror and goes, you could be better.
You think that?
I do.
I don't
do.
think
I think
that.
everybody has. You think Brad Pitt?
No,
you
I think
he's
everyone has
confident?
a struggle. I don't think everyone's struggle is not feeling sexy.
Oh, I think everyone.
Like Brad Pitt's probably like, you're really bad at budgeting your money.
You think?
Or he's like, you yelled at your dogs way too much, Brad. You're a bad guy, Brad. Doesn't matter how
But
damn
one
handsome
thing
you are.
you're not.
Yeah.
You are a good looking.
But you are sexy.
You
Brad.
are
That's
sexy
what he
as
said
hell,
about
Brad.
you.
You might
Tom
be right.
Brady. Tom Brady was not considered a sexy person when he joined the NFL 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And
He
now
wasn't.
between his workout routine and Giselle's actual witchcraft,
Yeah.
he's like a DILF right now.
Is
He's
he?
a DILF.
Women of the crowd, which is their couple, is Tom Brady a DILF to you guys? Okay, you heard it there.
Babe, don't Google it.
We
I'll
don't
tell
know
you.
it. I'll describe it. He has boils all over his face.
My wife's like, oh,
He's 5'4".
Tom Brady
Bald.
He's a DILF, all right.
DILF.
Finding out in real time. Camera zooms in my face. I'm like, well, I mean, I'm a dad, so would you like to,
Am I a DILF? Am I a DILF?
Did I stop? Oh, I stopped.
would you
the
like to
timer.
DILF me? But I don't even know how to say it.
DILF
Did
with
you-
me? Dad, I'd like
Do you
to
want
F
to elf
with me.
my dill?
Dad, I'd like to F with me. Yeah, that could work.
Dad, I'd like to fuck.
Dad,
Well, I
I'd
know, I
like,
understand.
Dad,
Look,
like-
Dad,
I'd
I'd like to. Dad, I'd like to DILF.
Dad,
You're the dad I'd like
but
to
can
DILF.
Dad,
you,
I'd
could
like
you
to
say,
DILF my guy.
can you DILF with me? Is it, I don't think you can use it as a verb.
No, we can't. And you notice we can't use it a verb. Closing out this podcast.
Let's
I think it's
use
time.
the verb
It's
close
time.
the podcast. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for this podcast. We're so glad to have a live audience. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And thank you so much for coming to our live comedy shows. That was fun too.
Yeah, we'll have more. More's coming in the future. All right. Yep.
Boys, congratulations on this weekend. We
Yeah.
did it.
We friggin' did it.
We performed in front of 200 plus people
Yeah.
in 2 days.
Nice.
We did all the details and organizing and all that kind of stuff with a team of people who helped
I mean,
us.
that was
so
mostly
Mainly
I
Trey.
showed up. I really feel like I just
Evan
showed
didn't
up.
do a lot of
I
detail
didn't do
stuff.
much,
Exact
but
same,
I
on the
did
exact-
show up.
I'm in the exact same boat. And on that note, I'm Mitchell Mack.
I'm Evan Pearson.
And I'm Trey. And you've been listening to the Unpaid Regulars.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you next week. Good night.
Woo!